Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Oh Shoot. I'm your host, Cassidy Lynne, and happy Monday. I hope you guys are really vibing and thriving through the summer because we're almost done. Can you believe it? Like, summer always flies by so quickly. First of all, it's rude because I love summer, but I pack my summer so full because I'm like, I want to live summer to the fullest. I want to have a Michigan summer. Like, I want to do this and this and this and this and this. And then by the end of it, I'm like, did I actually enjoy the summer at all? Because I was so busy that I never had time for literally anything other than my plans. I never sat. My thing is I never sit out on like our outdoor furniture, even though we have it. It's cute. It's there. I'm like, I need to use this more often, but it's like, I don't know. I'm just go all summer. So all that being said, I hope you're having a great summer. I am. And this episode is coming out when I think I'm traveling somewhere or another. I'm sure you'll see on my Instagram all the things, but what I'm here to do today, I am here to re-traumatize you guys with red flag photography client stories. Yes, that is right. That is why I'm wearing the color red. As you can see on YouTube, I'm dressing as a big waving red flag because that's what we're going to read about today. I am prepared to be very scarred. I'm prepared to be mad for you guys. I know I'm going to be mad for you guys. I'm prepared to say what I need to say. And because these clients aren't here in the room with us, these red flag clients are somewhere else and whatever. And because these are all anonymous, we're going to go for it. Okay. So let's jump into it. Hey, Queen. Love the podcast. I did a mini session promo and I booked this woman who said she wanted, quote, just a few quick shots of me and my kids. And I thought, okay, easy. She shows up with her 4 kids, her husband, her mom, her dad, her sister, her sister's fiance, and their dog. I tell her that the mini session's only 15 minutes and it was meant for nuclear families. What does a nuclear family mean? I will have to Google that. And she says, we'll just take turns then. I tried to keep it moving, but they were so disorganized and it ran 40 minutes over. I edited the best ones and I sent over the gallery. She then asked me to re-edit every single person's skin because, quote, the lighting wasn't flattering. Girl, it was golden hour. You tell her it was golden hour. You can't have bad lighting at golden hour. It's all good lighting. What do you mean? Okay, I need to look up what a nuclear family is because I've never heard that term before. I would think a nuclear family means like a big family because like a nuclear explosion is really big, right? A nuclear family is a family group consisting of a parent or parents and their dependent children, typically living in one household. I see. It's also known as an elementary family or an atomic family. Okay. This structure is often contrasted with an extended family. Got it. A nuclear family. You learned something new today on the pod. That's funny. Showing up with her sister, her sister's fiance, and the dog. If I were you, to be honest, I would have been like, 15 minutes is up. Oh, sorry. Sister's fiance didn't get photos. My bad. You didn't pay for it. Sorry. So sorry. I've done photography for 10 years, part-time. My worst client was the one that I tried the hardest for. She booked me for a family shoot. Coincidence that they're all family shoots? I don't think so. That was me, by the way. That was not written in. Everything was good. But then a week later, she sends me a list of shots that she, quote, didn't get. And she demanded a reshoot. I offered to do it at a discount. She then reported me to the BBB and left reviews under multiple fake names. I found out because one of the names she used was her dog's name. Buddy the Retriever has left you a review. Ooh, real sneaky there. Using your dog's name. That's so funny. Like, Come on. Come on. It's always, I'm not saying it's always the family show, because I'm sure we'll learn that we've got some Bridezillas in here and whatever, but that is something else. Okay. I had a bride who was very type A. I purchased my first home a few months before her wedding, and we had moved in 2 weeks before her wedding. She emailed me after business hours the week of her wedding, and I didn't respond until the next day. She told me that, quote, my personal life was clearly interfering with my work and that I needed to get it together. So that's crazy. She showed up to her wedding 45 minutes late, and then she complained that we didn't get enough photos in. She also made multiple rude comments to my second shooter throughout the day. She demanded a refund, which I did not give her, and then she tried to charge back through her credit card. She lost. Crazy. Being like, hey, your personal life is interfering with your work. What are you, my boss? What do I work in at 9 to 5 at an office? It's not like I'm clocked in and I'm getting texts from people and I'm getting calls from my family. Like, I'm literally, sorry, I just hit my mic. I'm that heated. I'm literally off the clock. It is past business hours. I'm at my home. God forbid a girl watch Love Island. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean my personal life is interfering with my work? What do you want me to have? No personal life? You want me to not have a life? I work this job so that I can have freedom in my life. I'm an entrepreneur so that I can pick and choose my business hours. You don't get to tell me when I have to respond to things. Responding the next day, like sending an email in the evening, responding the next day, to me, that's a very fast response time. That's what I think. I mean, yeah, the week of the wedding, if someone emails me, I'm going to try to be pretty quick to respond to them. But like, God forbid a girl take a day. Jeez. Okay, well, now I'm already mad. And then the chargeback through the credit card. Seriously? Like, that would have made me so mad, because it's like, you got and I delivered what you paid for. And then you're going to try to get your money back? Like, that's so crazy. This week's episode is brought to you by Aftershoot, and I have an exciting announcement that Aftershoot is launching AI retouching, which is now in public beta, and it's free to use now until September 2025. So this adds a powerful finishing layer to the Aftershoot workflow. Now photographers can cull, edit, and retouch all in one tool without extra costs or the need for additional software. So a few key features with their AI retouching. It has skin smoothing for the face and body, which preserves natural texture, blemish and acne removal, flyaway hair cleanup, glasses glare removal, and it's built right into Aftershoot's existing workflow. So I'm super excited to partner with Aftershoot for this podcast. Specifically, the retouching tool is really awesome. Basically, what it does is you're able to import your edited JPEGs into Aftershoot, and there's like these little sliders for flyaways and face brightening and eye brightening and all the things. And it does such a good job. It's very, very fast, and something that would take me like a really, really long time in Lightroom, it does in seconds in Aftershoot. So their retouching tool is now available. And like I said, it is free until September. So go give it a try. The link to sign up for Aftershoot is in the description of this episode, and use Cassidy for a percentage off. All right, back to the show. A bride that I had only met briefly at a party reached out to me to book me for her wedding. I had heard that she had, quote, a fiery personality, but she was super sweet via text. I sent over my pricing and she said that she would be down to book. I got a call from her a week later saying that she just had to, quote, go with her gut, and that she booked with someone else. What? I told her that I totally understand and best of luck. Well, her wedding day comes and she's not feeling the photographer that she booked. He's all over the place. He doesn't get a single solo bride portrait. She reaches out to me 2 months later, asking if I could do a bridal session of her in her wedding dress. I say yes, and I give her a quote. She proceeds to try to lowball me and says that since she didn't book me for her wedding, I, quote, owe her, and that it would be good exposure. Yes. Red flags all around here. Where shall we start? The fiery personality is where we should start. And then let's move on to her going with her gut and booking someone else. Okay. Like, that's not a red flag. You're allowed to do that. But like, then her coming back and being like, I didn't like those photos. I want to do a bridal session. I would have said no, because it's kind of like that's kind of a red flag for like me, is her being unhappy with photos that she's had done until she's like booking someone else, which yeah, there are cases sometimes where like your photos did just suck and you like want to redo them. Like, I get that, but like, to me, it's giving she's never going to be satisfied. Okay. I'm a photographer, and in this case, I was one of the vendors. That was not the red flag. The bride and groom were amazing, but the makeup artist showed up 2 hours late with no apology. She didn't finish the makeup until the ceremony was about to start, and then got mad at me for rushing the couple during portraits. She told me that I wasn't respecting her artistry. Girl, they're married now. It's my turn. Please leave. Yeah. Actually, it's hard when a makeup artist or a hairstylist is late to a wedding, because quite literally so much of your day depends on the timeline of them being ready on time. It's hard because you have a job of fitting everything into such a small amount of time that if something goes 2 hours late, it really does affect you so much. So red flag all around. So I shot this couple last year and everything seemed fine. But a month before their wedding, they got into a fight with their venue and the venue dropped them. I helped them find a new location, new timeline, new layout, and basically planned the damn wedding. I didn't charge extra because I wanted to be nice and supportive. Okay, good for you, but like, no. A week after the wedding, the bride posts her photos and tags everyone but me. The planner, the hair and makeup artist, the florist, the DJ, even the rental company, but not her photographer. When I asked her if she could tag me, she goes, I will if I get around to it. I was livid. I'm screaming for you. Not the rental company. But you can't even tag the person who's responsible for taking the photo. That's crazy. So you kind of folded, because why did you plan the whole wedding for them? Respectfully, and I don't know if many people disagree with this, that's not really your job. Like, if you want to help with like the timeline, sure. If you want to help with some things, but like planning the whole wedding, no. That's where I draw the line. So, you know, what can you do? She did you dirty. She did you really dirty. I shot this couple last year. Oh, not me reading the same exact one I just read. Please ignore. I had scheduled a couple session. You know, the cute running in a field type of vibe. 20 minutes before the session, the girl texts me, hey, just FYI, my boyfriend's mad at me, so he may not smile. I show up and he literally turns his back on me while she's trying to pose. He's giving full pouty 3-year-old energy, hands in pockets, sulking, not even looking at her. I ask if they want to reschedule and she's like, no, I want these to post on our anniversary. Girl, are you okay? Not him like fully turning his back on you. Hey, so FYI, my boyfriend's mad at me, so like he might not smile. What do you mean? These are photos. You have to smile. Yeah, that is beyond me. You know, I wish them both well, but I do not wish them well with each other. I don't think it's meant to be. We had a consultation and me and these clients really hit it off. She told me she felt super confident in my experience and that she trusted me. But then 2 days later, I get a DM from her mom asking for a discount because, quote, my daughter is not getting a full Catholic mass. It's just a quick ceremony. I said no. And then 30 minutes later, the bride texts me and says, we're going a different direction. The mom picked the photographer. Insane. Yeah, it's a red flag, but honestly, you dodged a bullet there. Like, they were looking for a discount, whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, it sounds like the mom is pretty heavily involved in that process, which is fine. Moms can be. But I think you dodged a bullet. Truly, definitely a red flag. Because from there, like, what do we think would have happened from, like, there would have been other things that they would be nitpicking you about or whatever. Like, it wasn't just, hey, can we get a discount? There's going to be other things. Okay. I did a giveaway and I was super excited for my winner until she started pushing the shoe out over and over again. I was offering a free engagement session, but she kept saying, we're just really busy right now. I finally put a deadline on it and I told her I needed to use the date by the end of the year. She sends me a novel about how rude and corporate I sound and how I don't care about love if I'm not flexible with couples over a free session. She never booked me. Saying you don't care about love is crazy. Being like, you're just giving us a deadline on this. You don't care about our love. Like, what? No, I care about my time and you're kind of wasting my time but by not allowing me to pick a date. Honestly, at that point, I probably would have just been like, if she reaches out again, I'll be like, hey, it expired. Sorry. Like, it's a free session. And I've heard a lot of people say like that they don't do those like giveaways anymore with like giving away a free session because it's just so intense and like hard to get them to book. It's intense in like the comments, like everyone's trying to win. And then all of a sudden it's like you pick a winner and then they never want to do the shoot. It's like, what? Isn't this what you wanted? Isn't this what you asked for? Like, come on. Okay. I booked a couple for an engagement session. The girl was really sweet, but the guy kept making jokes about how he hates photos and how this was a waste of time. The whole shoot, he was making fart noises and fake sneezing while she was trying to be romantic. I gave her a huge discount because she was mortified. Okay, make that make sense though, because why are you giving her a discount? That's okay. Fast forward, she hires me for the wedding. Day of, the groom is drunk by 11 a.m., literally throws up in a bush during the ceremony. He wiped his mouth and kept going like nothing happened, and she's still married to him. Okay, this not only sounds like red flag clients, but just like a red flag relationship in general. Like I said, I don't know if you should have given her a discount for real because it's kind of her fault for like, not her fault, it's his fault, obviously. But like, she's the one that's in a relationship with him. He's got the bad attitude. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Throwing up in the bush. Wow. All the things. That's wild. That's crazy. They really are big red flags. Not just like red flags for you as the photographer, but like I said, for like that girl. Okay. Everything with this client seemed normal. She seemed excited and fun and like she trusted me. But the mom, emphasis on the mom. She showed up to the engagement session with a folder of inspiration photos, Pinterest screenshots of other photographers' work, and literally tried to direct the session like it was a commercial shoot. I kindly told her that I had a process and that I would take good care of them. She yelled at me. During her daughter's engagement session, I had to ask her to step away. I thought I was being punked. I love the visual of like mom with the clipboard being like, okay, and now they're going to walk and hold hands smiling. Okay, now you're going to get like a little bit of a lower angle. Like, okay, like that's actually crazy. It's one of those, I don't know if it's like an older generation that just doesn't understand how some of these sessions work. You know what I mean? Like they literally don't understand how a photo shoot works because in their day, doing a photo shoot was like going to a studio and doing like a couple poses and then they'd get some prints or something like that. Like, I don't know if it's just different. I don't know. That's definitely a red flag. Okay. Another red flag client story. This client inquired with me and we had our consultation. I could tell that she was kind of stiff, but I didn't think too much of it. We booked, everything was fine, but she emails me a week later with a 10-page PDF of expected editing styles in a Dropbox folder with other photographers' work with notes like, see how the sky is bluer here? She also noted she doesn't want me to use my usual presets. Girl, why did you even hire me? You're right. And you know what? How did it go? How'd your shoot go? Because that would stress me the heck out if it's like, I'm so focused on these little details of, oh, she said she likes blue sky, so I got to make sure I do this. Or, oh, she said she likes, like, it kind of takes away the whole creative process, which is hard because that's literally your job, is to be creative. Yeah, that's crazy. 10-page PDF. Who's got the time to make a 10-page PDF? That's wild. This was by far the worst client experience I've ever had. The bride and groom were already 45 minutes late to their own ceremony, and oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The bride and groom were already 45 minutes late to their own ceremony when I arrived. They didn't have a coordinator and it was chaos. I asked where the wedding party was and she said they'll show up when they show up. No one had a timeline. I had to step in and organize everyone myself. She later left me a 3-star review because I wasn't, quote, bubbly enough. And you know, that's enough to send me over the edge. Because I'm settling in right now. Let's talk about this. Being bubbly doesn't equal being a good photographer. Maybe this person is talking about the customer service of it all. Maybe they were trying to say, oh, she needs to work on her customer service or something. Being called not bubbly, that's a personality trait. That is something that is, you either have it or you don't. And like, sorry, I wasn't bubbly. Like, yeah. You know what? I'm not even going to go down that. I can't. I literally cannot with that comment. That would make me crash out. That would send me. Okay. Moving on. I'm sorry. That's crazy. Here's another red flag photography client story. A new photographer messaged me inquiring about second shooting. I said yes, and we worked together for one wedding. She was fine. A few weeks later, why am I not convinced that she was fine? A few weeks later, she messages me asking if I would share my contracts and pricing because she's, quote, building her business. I said I didn't feel comfortable, and she flipped. Started subtweeting me, made an Instagram post saying that some women don't support women, and then she blocked me over contracts. Thank you for the story. That wasn't about clients, but you know what? It is about a photographer, and that is a red flag. Because it sounds like that photographer just expects to be handed things that took you a while to adapt in your business, or maybe you even paid for that contract and they just expected it for free. That's wild. Okay. We've got a couple more, so we will keep going. Okay. A red flag photography client story. My first booked wedding, they got an insane discount. I did 8 hours of coverage for $400. The couple was nice, but I kid you not, when I got to the reception, the bride asked me to mop the floor because she forgot to ask the venue. I looked at her like she was joking, and she just said, just a quick once over before the guests arrive. I pretended to take a phone call. I walked out the door. I didn't even get paid the full amount. Oh, not just a quick once over, just a quick little Swiffer. I'm crying. Here's my toxic trait though. I would be like, oh my gosh, yeah, anything you need. Absolutely. I will do that. But like sitting here in the comfort of my podcast studio, I'm appalled. But in the moment, I would be like, why, yes, of course. I will do anything. I will literally lay down on the ground so you can walk on my back so that your shoes don't get dirty. You know, I will do anything for you, queen. And then not getting paid the full amount is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I just don't understand. Like, is there no one at the venue they could have asked to do that? Like, it's crazy. I'm so glad you asked about red flag photography clients because I feel like I've been waiting my whole career to be petty about this one. I shot a wedding last year where the groom's ex came as a guest and no one told me that she was going to be there. When I asked who she was, the bride said, don't worry, she's harmless. As if she's like some kind of like rabid animal. She ended up pulling the groom aside during cocktail hour and they talked for 20 minutes alone. I caught it on camera. She looked like she was crying. I saw the bride The bride saw the photos in her gallery and asked me to delete them. I said no, and they broke up 3 months later. Why did you say no? Like, why'd you say no? Like, well, I guess, yeah. Oh my gosh. No, what's cracking me up about this is like you getting photographic evidence of this happening. And then like the bride being like, don't worry, she's harmless. Normally you don't say that about someone unless you feel as though like they could harm you, right? Like talking about like a dog or something. Oh, don't worry, they're harmless. Or like talking about a spider. Oh, don't worry, it's harmless. Talking about an ex-girlfriend. That's wild. That is so wild. And then they broke up 3 months later. I want to know if him and his ex got together. Just my theory. Just a theory. I'm putting it out there, but I want to know. It's kind of feeling like the bride was a little bit in denial is what it sounds like. Saying, oh, don't worry, she's harmless. In the back of her mind, she's thinking, oh, this person is actually a threat or actually could do harm to my relationship. And then asking to delete the photos too. It's like, okay, so you feel some type of way about this whole thing. Okay. I had a potential client fill out my photography inquiry form. We booked a call. She spent 45 minutes asking me about my editing workflow and how I back up my photos. Then at the end, she asked for a 75% discount because she wants to understand what I'm paying for. Ma'am, it's not a car loan. What? I don't understand. It's not a car loan. Do you mean like as in it would be like a down payment? Huh? I don't understand that at all. But you know what? Red flag. You wrote it in. You're a podcast listener. You're 100% in the right. Obviously. Okay, moving on. This is very heavy in the technicalities of emailing, but the red flag was that my client would never respond to a full email. I would send info, prices, options, and she would just reply, okay, like I was texting her from the kitchen. I asked her to confirm which package she wanted. She said either is fine, no matter what I asked. She gave me no answers. The day of the wedding, she was furious that I brought a second shooter. She, quote, didn't realize that was included. Girl, I asked you 3 times. I'm loving this. So a client is like, you're like, hey, so do you want to spend $7,000 or $9,000? And they're like, don't worry about it. Either is fine. What do you mean either is fine? It's your money. Like, what are you talking about? Being like, okay. I kind of love when people like, this might be like just stupid, but I love when people respond to emails like more casually than normal. I just think it's kind of funny, but I do agree it's giving texting a little bit, which is annoying. So that's wild. It sounds like someone was just not really paying attention. And then all of a sudden when it mattered on the wedding day, she was like shocked. Okay. This may be obvious, but when this bride was still in the process of booking, she asked if I was okay with being bossed around. I laughed thinking that she was joking, but she was not. Yeah. If someone said, are you okay with being bossed around? I think I'd have to respectfully decline. It's the fact that they have to preface it. It's the fact that they have to warn you. Ding, ding, ding. Red flag. Warnings. Oh, don't worry. She's harmless. Like that last submission is a red flag. You know what I mean? Like it's the warning for me. It's the disclaimer. Because what do you mean? Am I okay being bossed around? That means you're not going to treat me most likely like a human. That means you're going to treat me as if I'm like not a person. You're going to be like so rude. So no thanks. Okay, we've got 3 more. We are really flying through these. I feel like the photography horror stories episode I did a couple weeks ago, I just like could not get through the stories. They were so long, which is fine. But like these ones are so much shorter. So I'm like, wow, amazing. Okay. A photography red flag client story. The client reached out 5 months before her wedding. we booked 2 months later. I got a text saying, we're going with someone else. Please refund us. I reminded her that it was a non-refundable deposit. She then goes on Instagram stories and rants about how photographers are scammers and we should unionize them against their greed. I didn't say anything publicly, but I did email her the contract again, just in case she forgot the signature. Okay, what does unionize mean? That's another word we got to look up this episode because you've got quite the vocabulary. Become or cause to become members of Bye. It's unionize. Oh my gosh, you guys, take the mic away from me. Actually, I should not be allowed to speak. Unionize is what I said. Unionize. Of course. Well, of course it's unionize. Of course to become or cause to become members of a labor union. Bruh. Like, duh. Okay. I am speechless. I have nothing left to say other than my deepest apologies to all listeners for that. I'm so sorry. Wow. Unionize. Okay. A close friend of my sister's dropped out of her wedding so she could afford me for photos. I felt honored, but also kind of weird. She ends up booking a courthouse ceremony and I show up and do my thing. Afterwards, she texts me a full list of edits she wants, including make me look 30 pounds lighter. She paid me $150 for the whole thing. I sent her the unedited files and blocked her. Bruh, what? Why? Okay, so like, why wouldn't you at least deliver the photos though? Like, yeah, but you agreed to do it. So edit the photos. But you're right. Crazy things are happening in this submission. I 100% agree, but that's a little unhinged for you to send the raws and just block her. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of wild. Love you, girl. Love ya. Okay. And that's actually it for our submissions. I went through those really fast, but like I said, the other submission episode, I don't know what it was, but the stories were just so long. We had some crazy ones though. I mean, this one, not gonna lie, we had some crazy ones too. I'm trying to think if I've had any red flag clients. I really don't think so. I mean, the worst thing that's ever happened to me was I had a client who asked me after I delivered the photos, they asked me to change the way that my greens looked. And I did because my greens were it was in that era where super desaturated greens were in. So I obviously super desaturated my greens and she asked for more greens. And all I did was I was okay, you can pick 10 to 15 photos and I'll just do it to those. So she sent over the ones that she wanted me to edit. And that was really it. And then I sent over those ones. But I will say there was the same girl ended up emailing me and she asked me, and this is 100% on me. I think I was a little bit of the red flag, but she asked me if I could include the photos of every single person that walked down the aisle, because for some reason, when I went through and picked the photos, I skipped over a person that walked down the aisle. I didn't pick any photos of them. And it totally was just not, I think my thought process was the girl wasn't smiling, which is why I didn't pick the photos. But it was I totally had skipped over a person and didn't include them. And this was so many years ago. So I was oh my gosh, yeah, of course. And then I sent over the photos of that girl that were missing, which was on me, obviously. But yeah, besides that, I don't know if I really have not had hardly any red flag clients, which I am so glad for because these stories are really something else. Okay. I think that's going to wrap up this week's episode. I know it's a little bit shorter, but hey, Go have a good summer. Go have a good day. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week for another episode. Bye.